What if healing wasn't about fighting disease, but about remembering wholeness at the quantum level? Scientists are discovering something extraordinary. Your cells don't just respond to medication and surgery, they respond to consciousness, they respond to intention, they respond to the electromagnetic signals your heart and brain generate when you think, feel, and believe. At the subatomic level, your body is a shimmering field of quantum particles, and those particles are exquisitely sensitive to information. Not just biochemical information, but conscious information. The thoughts you think, the emotions you generate, the beliefs you hold, these aren't just mental events. They're quantum events that cascade through your entire biological system, turning genes on and off, regulating cellular repair, directing immune function. This video will show you how quantum biology is rewriting everything we thought we knew about healing and how you can use consciousness to activate your body's innate repair mechanisms. If you've ever felt like your body should heal faster, work better, or respond differently, you're about to understand why. Let's start with something that might sound impossible but is actually documented in medical literature: spontaneous remission, cases where terminal cancer disappears without conventional treatment, where autoimmune conditions reverse overnight, where chronic pain vanishes after decades. The medical establishment calls these cases anomalies, statistical outliers, unexplained phenomena. But when researchers started interviewing these patients, they found a common thread. Almost all of them had undergone a profound shift in consciousness before their healing occurred. A change in perspective, a release of old trauma, a decision to live differently, a deep emotional transformation, and their bodies responded, not slowly, not gradually, but dramatically, as if the cells themselves were waiting for permission to heal. Today we are going deeper than we've ever gone into the intersection of quantum physics, consciousness, and biological healing. I'm going to share 4 major insights that will completely transform how you think about health and disease. First, what quantum biology reveals about cellular healing mechanisms. Second, how consciousness directly affects physical matter at the molecular level. Third, specific quantum healing meditation techniques you can use immediately. And fourth, advanced cellular repair consciousness protocols that work at the subatomic level. That fourth technique connects to something even more foundational, something about how quantum reality itself responds to your awareness. I'll tell you about that at the end. This isn't just theory. This is practical, applicable knowledge you can use to support your healing journey starting today. Here's where we need to begin: quantum biology. For decades, biology was considered a purely classical science. Cells follow mechanical rules, DNA codes for proteins, chemical reactions drive metabolism. But in the last 20 years, researchers have discovered that quantum effects, things like superposition, entanglement, and tunneling, play crucial roles in biological processes. Photosynthesis operates with near-perfect efficiency because of quantum coherence. Birds navigate using quantum entanglement in their retinas. Enzymes catalyze reactions through quantum tunneling. Your sense of smell likely depends on quantum vibrations in molecules. And most importantly for our discussion, your DNA, your cellular membranes, your entire body operates partly in the quantum realm. This means your biology isn't just chemistry, it's quantum chemistry. And quantum systems are exquisitely sensitive to information fields, including the fields generated by consciousness. In the world of manifestation and quantum healing, we believe consciousness isn't just observing these quantum processes, it's influencing them. When you hold a thought, when you generate an emotion, your brain and heart create measurable electromagnetic fields. These fields radiate through your body and beyond it. And at the quantum level, where particles exist in superposition until observed or measured, these fields act as a form of observation. They collapse probability waves. They influence which genetic expressions activate. They affect how proteins fold. They change cellular behavior. This isn't metaphysical speculation anymore. This is emerging science. Researchers like Bruce Lipton have shown that environmental signals, including thoughts and emotions, control gene expression through epigenetic mechanisms. The field of psychoneuroimmunology has documented how mental states directly influence immune function. And quantum healing takes this understanding to its logical conclusion. If consciousness affects matter at the quantum level and your body is matter operating quantum mechanically, then consciousness can be directed toward healing. Dr. Joe Dispenza has been researching this for over 2 decades. His workshops bring together thousands of people who practice specific meditations designed to activate healing responses. And the results are documented. Brain tumors shrinking, Parkinson's symptoms reversing, chronic pain disappearing. Participants have their brain scans measured before and after. The scans show dramatic changes in brain coherence, in gamma wave production, in the connectivity between different brain regions, and these internal changes correspond with measurable external healing. Now, this doesn't mean you should abandon conventional medicine. It means you have more tools available than you might have realized. It means your consciousness is one of those tools. And when used skillfully, it can amplify healing in remarkable ways. If this resonates, if you're feeling the possibility opening, hit subscribe and the bell icon. Also join our manifestation club on gogetter.au. Get inspired by reading healing stories and share your story to inspire others, because this isn't just a channel. This is a community of people remembering their innate creative capacity. We're not just consuming information, we're activating transformation together. All right, the first major insight: quantum biology and cellular healing. Your body replaces most of its cells regularly. Your stomach lining regenerates every few days. Your skin cells turn over every few weeks. Your red blood cells live about 4 months. Even your bones are constantly remodeling. The body you have today is not the same body you had a year ago at the cellular level. Which raises an interesting question. If your cells are constantly being replaced, why do chronic conditions persist? Why doesn't your body just build healthy new cells and leave the disease behind? The answer lies in information. Your cells don't just replicate randomly, they follow instructions. Genetic instructions, yes, but also epigenetic instructions, signals from the environment that tell genes which proteins to produce. And one of the most powerful environmental signals is your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist, discovered this in his research. He found that cells in a petri dish respond differently to their environment based on the chemical signals they receive. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline trigger cells into protection mode. They shut down growth and repair functions. They prepare for threat, but when cells receive signals of safety, nourishment, and growth, they thrive, they repair, they regenerate. Now, here's the quantum healing principle. Your consciousness generates those signals. When you're in chronic stress, when you're replaying traumatic memories, when you're worrying about the future, your body is bathed in stress hormones. Your cells receive the signal that it's not safe to heal. But when you enter coherent states, when you generate emotions like gratitude, love, and peace, your body produces different chemistry. Oxytocin, DHEA, immunoglobulin A, signals that tell your cells it's safe to repair, to grow, to function optimally. At the quantum level, this gets even more interesting. DNA isn't just a static code, it's a dynamic antenna constantly receiving and transmitting electromagnetic information. Research by the HeartMath Institute shows that coherent heart rhythms generate electromagnetic fields that actually change the winding and unwinding of DNA, affecting which genes get expressed. When your heart rhythm is chaotic, which happens during stress, anger, or frustration, your DNA literally receives a chaotic signal. But when your heart rhythm is coherent, smooth, and ordered, your DNA receives a clear, organizing signal. This is consciousness healing at the molecular level. You're not just thinking positive thoughts. You're broadcasting electromagnetic information that your cells translate into biological action. In the comments, drop one word that represents what you're healing or releasing right now. fear, pain, doubt, illness, disease, whatever it is. Naming it is part of the process. It's you consciously acknowledging what's ready to transform. Your words carry intention. Your declaration has power in the quantum field. The second insight is understanding how consciousness affects physical matter. Let's talk about the observer effect again, but this time in the context of biology. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in superposition, multiple states simultaneously, until observed. The act of observation collapses the wave function into a definite state. Now, what counts as observation? Mainstream physics is still debating this, but what's undeniable is that measurement, which involves interaction with a larger system, causes collapse. And your consciousness, generating electromagnetic fields, creating coherent or incoherent signals, is constantly interacting with the quantum substrate of your body. In manifestation and quantum medicine, we believe this makes consciousness a primary healing agent. Think about the placebo effect. For decades, it was dismissed as merely psychological, as if psychological somehow meant not real. But the placebo effect is one of the most consistent findings in medical research. People given sugar pills, told they are receiving powerful medication, experience real physiological changes. Pain decreases, inflammation reduces, symptoms improve. And it's not just subjective, it's measurable. Brain scans show that placebo treatments activate the same neural pathways as actual drugs. The body releases its own pain-relieving chemicals. Why? Because the belief, the expectation, the conscious conviction that healing is happening creates the conditions for healing to occur. Your mind isn't just influencing your perception of pain. It's directing your biology to produce the biochemistry of healing. And then there's the nocebo effect, the dark twin of placebo. When people are told they are receiving a harmful substance, even if it's inert, they develop symptoms, headaches, nausea, fatigue. The expectation of harm creates harm. Consciousness affects physical matter in both directions. This is why your habitual thought patterns matter so much. If you're constantly thinking, I'm sick, I'll never get better, my body is broken, you're broadcasting that information into your biological system. Your cells are listening. Your quantum particles are responding. But when you shift the internal narrative, when you start thinking and feeling from a place of wholeness, your biology receives different instructions. There's a study that always stays with me. Researchers took hotel cleaning staff and divided them into two groups. One group was told that their daily work, making beds, vacuuming, scrubbing bathrooms, counted as excellent exercise and met all the recommendations for physical activity. The other group received no information. 4 weeks later, the group that had been told their work was exercise showed measurable improvements. They lost weight, their blood pressure decreased, their body fat percentage dropped. The other group, doing the exact same physical work, showed no changes. The only difference was the belief about what their activity meant. Consciousness healing through reframing what the body was doing. Now let's get practical. The third insight: quantum healing meditation techniques. This is something you can begin using immediately to activate your body's innate repair mechanisms. The first technique is called the body scan with quantum intention. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, take several deep breaths to calm your nervous system. Then bring your awareness to your body. Start at the top of your head and slowly scan downward. But here's where it becomes quantum healing. Instead of just observing, you're going to infuse your awareness with healing intention. As you scan each area, imagine your consciousness as a wave of coherent light, a quantum field of organizing information moving through your tissues. See it interacting with your cells at the subatomic level. Visualize your quantum particles responding, reorganizing, remembering their blueprint of perfect health. When you reach an area of pain or disease, don't resist it, don't fight it. That creates more tension. Instead, flood it with loving attention. In manifestation, we believe that love is the highest coherence. It's the most organizing force. So breathe into that area, thank it for trying to communicate with you, ask it what it needs. And then visualize quantum healing occurring. See damaged cells being repaired. See inflammation reducing. See tissues regenerating. Not as fantasy, but as conscious direction of your body's natural quantum processes. Spend at least 5 minutes here. The longer you can sustain coherent attention on healing, the more profound the effect. The second technique is emotional release for cellular healing. Unprocessed emotions get stored in the body. Trauma researcher Bessel van der Kolk has documented this extensively. When you experience something overwhelming and don't fully process it, the emotional energy gets trapped in your tissues. Your fascia holds tension, your organs carry stress. And this trapped energy disrupts the quantum coherence of your cells, so healing often requires emotional release. Sit quietly. Bring to mind an old hurt, a past trauma, something you've been carrying. Don't relive the story. Just feel the emotion that's stored. Where do you feel it in your body? Your chest, your stomach, your throat. Breathe into that sensation. And as you breathe, imagine the quantum field of your awareness surrounding that emotion. Not pushing it away, just holding it, witnessing it. And slowly, that loving attention begins to dissolve the trapped energy. You might cry, you might shake, you might yawn or sigh deeply. These are signs of release. Your nervous system is letting go. And as the emotion releases, the quantum coherence of those cells improves. Healing becomes possible. If this is landing, if you're seeing new possibilities, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. You're not just sharing content, you're spreading the frequency of healing consciousness. Also join our manifestation club on gogetter.au and become part of a global community practicing conscious healing together. The third technique is future self-healing visualization. This uses quantum time principles. In quantum physics, time isn't strictly linear. Past, present, and future exist in a field of probability, so you can connect with a future version of yourself who is already healed. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, completely healthy. Feel what that feels like. See yourself moving with ease, without pain, full of energy and vitality. Make it vivid. What are you doing? How are you breathing? What expression is on your face? Now, from that future healed self, look back at your current self. What message does your future self have for you? What did they do to heal? What beliefs did they release? What practices did they commit to? Let that information flow. And then, bring that frequency of wholeness, that cellular knowing of health, back into your present body. Feel it anchoring into your cells. Your body doesn't know if this is imagination or reality. When done with emotional intensity, your biology responds as if it's real. This is quantum medicine in practice. Comment down below what's one small act you're committing to today that supports your healing. It could be as simple as breathe, or trust, or release, or nourish. Your word matters. Your commitment matters. Because you matter. And your healing journey deserves your full conscious participation. Let me share something personal. Years ago, I dealt with chronic digestive issues. Doctors ran tests. Everything came back normal. They prescribed medications that barely helped. I felt frustrated, disconnected from my body, and honestly, a little hopeless. It wasn't until I learned about quantum healing and consciousness healing that things shifted. I started practicing these meditations. I started releasing old emotional patterns I'd been carrying since childhood. I started speaking to my body differently, with gratitude instead of frustration. And slowly, the symptoms improved. Not because I did anything drastic, but because I changed the signal I was sending to my cells. I moved from fight to flow, from resistance to coherence. And my body responded. Now, the fourth insight. Advanced Cellular Repair Consciousness Protocols. This is for those of you ready to go deeper. The first protocol is DNA activation meditation. Your DNA contains far more information than just genetic code. Some researchers believe it acts as a quantum antenna, receiving and transmitting information from consciousness fields. Sit in meditation. Focus on your heart center. Generate a feeling of deep gratitude or love. Feel it building. Then imagine that emotion radiating through your entire body as light. See it reaching every cell, every strand of DNA. And as it touches your DNA, imagine the dormant strands, the so-called junk DNA that scientists are now realizing has regulatory functions, lighting up, activating, coming online. You're not forcing anything, you're just creating the energetic conditions for your body's full potential to express. Hold this visualization for 10 to 15 minutes. The key is sustained, coherent emotion combined with clear intention. The second protocol is quantum healing through heart-brain coherence. The heart and brain communicate constantly through electromagnetic fields. When they're incoherent, chaotic, your body receives conflicting signals. But when they synchronize, when your heart rhythm and brain waves align, you enter a powerful state for healing. Here's how to create coherence. Breathe slowly and deeply. Inhale for 5 counts, exhale for 5 counts. Do this for 2 minutes. Then shift your attention to your heart area. Imagine breathing directly through your heart, and as you breathe, bring to mind something or someone you deeply appreciate. Really feel that gratitude. Let it fill your chest. This simple practice creates measurable coherence. And in that coherent state, visualize your body healing. See your immune system functioning optimally. See damaged tissues repairing. See energy flowing freely through your meridians. Your consciousness, in coherence, becomes a quantum healing field. The third protocol is working with sound and frequency for cellular repair. Every cell in your body has a natural resonant frequency. Disease often shows up as a disruption in that frequency. Sound healing uses specific tones to help cells return to their natural harmonic state. You can use recorded healing frequencies, binaural beats, or even your own voice. Tone the sound om or ah, or any vowel that feels good. Feel the vibration in your body. Direct it toward areas that need healing. The sound waves create mechanical vibrations that interact with your cells at the quantum level. Combined with intention, this becomes a powerful consciousness healing tool. And here's what I need to tell you. Everything we've covered today, the quantum biology, the observer effect in healing, the meditation techniques, all of it is happening within a larger framework. A framework where quantum reality itself is responsive to consciousness, where your thoughts and emotions don't just affect your body, they affect the probability waves of your entire experience. I made a video about this, about how quantum physics proves your reality is malleable consciousness, about how you can master quantum reality techniques to reshape your world instantly. It's connected to everything we've discussed here, because healing isn't separate from manifestation, they're both expressions of the same principle. Consciousness interacting with quantum fields. You can click and watch it now, it's on the end screen, and honestly, if quantum healing resonates with you, that video will show you the bigger picture of how consciousness creates reality. Make sure you share this with your loved ones. For you, it may be just sharing, but for someone struggling with health challenges, it could be the missing piece they've been searching for. You're not just sharing information, you're spreading the frequency of conscious healing. Let's bring this home. Your body is not a machine that occasionally breaks down and needs fixing. It's a dynamic, self-organizing, quantum biological system that's constantly responding to information. Chemical information, yes, but also electromagnetic information, emotional information, conscious information, and you have far more influence over that system than you've been taught to believe. The thoughts you think, the emotions you generate, the beliefs you hold, these aren't separate from your biology. They're directing your biology. They're collapsing quantum probabilities in your cells. They're telling your genes which proteins to make. They're instructing your immune system how to respond. Quantum healing isn't about rejecting conventional medicine. It's about recognizing that you have additional tools, that your consciousness is a healing agent, that coherence matters, that intention directs energy, that your body is listening to you every moment. And when you learn to speak its language, when you learn to generate the emotional frequencies of health, when you learn to visualize healing with clarity and feeling, your body responds. not because you're trying to control it through willpower, but because you're creating the internal conditions for its natural healing intelligence to express fully. The techniques we covered, the body scan with quantum intention, the emotional release protocol, the future self visualization, the DNA activation, the heart brain coherence practice, these are your tools. These are how you move from passive patient to active participant in your healing journey. These are how you work with quantum biology instead of against it. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Until one day you realize you're not fighting disease anymore. You're embodying wellness. You're living from wholeness. Here's my invitation. For the next 7 days, choose one technique. Practice it every day. Same time if possible. And pay attention. Notice what shifts. It might be subtle at first. Better sleep, less pain, more energy, clearer thinking, or it might be dramatic. Trust the process. Trust your body's quantum healing intelligence. Trust that consciousness healing is real and available to you. And then come back and share your experience in the comments, because your story might activate someone else's healing journey. If this resonated, if you felt even a small shift in how you relate to your body and your health, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Like to anchor this new understanding, comment what clicked for you. Share this with someone who needs it, and join our manifestation club on gogetter.au, because healing isn't just personal, it's collective. When you heal, you raise the frequency for everyone around you. And remember, this is just one piece of the larger picture. The quantum reality video I mentioned, that's where we zoom out and see how consciousness doesn't just heal your body, it shapes your entire experienced reality. It's where you learn that the same principles that activate cellular repair also activate manifestation, synchronicity, and reality creation. So click and watch it now. Your expanded understanding is waiting. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to see your body differently. Thank you for recognizing that you're not powerless in your healing journey. You have quantum healing capacity built into your very cells. You have consciousness healing available in every moment. And now that you know that, now that you've seen what's possible, there's no going back. You can't unsee this. And that's beautiful, because now you get to participate. Now you get to direct your quantum biology consciously. Now you get to remember that your body is not your enemy. It's your partner. It's listening. It's responding. It's waiting for you to send it the signal of wholeness. So send that signal every day in every way you can. And watch what happens. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, breathe deeply, trust your body's wisdom, and remember, healing is not just possible, it's your natural state. You're just remembering how to return to it.